From the Gert Boyle studio at OPB, this is Think Out Loud. I'm Dave Miller. There is a story behind every song my next guest has written. For about 20 years, Alela Diane has turned those stories about loss and longing, about home and memory, about childhood and parenthood, into haunting, finely crafted songs. Her new album, which was recorded in the attic of her Portland house, is called Who's Keeping Time. It comes out on May 22nd. Alela Diane joins us now, along with some of the musicians who played on the album. It's great to have you on Think Out Loud.
Thanks for having me.
I was hoping we could start with a song from the new album, the first song.
Sounds good. This one's called California. Golden hills along the highway, quiet yearning marigold, muted memory, dancing pictures. California, I've returned. Little sister in the shallows, laughing down the hallways of my mind. I hear the screen door slam behind her. California, treat her kind. All these faces, names escape me. I can't place it, but I've known you before. Time makes for shaky recognition. California, California, I am home. California, I am home. California, I am home. Winding river, headlights blinding, in the blackness before dawn. I summon angels on the back roads. California, I am gone. California, I am gone.
That was so lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's California from Alela Diane's new album. It's coming out in about a week and a half. It's called Who's Keeping Time. Lovely whistling, too, by the way.
Thank you.
You grew up in the gold rush town of Nevada City, California. What was it like?
It's a very small little town, beautiful place, wonderful place to grow up. Yeah, I'd always thought I'd move back there, but I didn't.
What made it a wonderful place to grow up?
Well, it's a small community that really nurtures the arts. I grew up singing in the choir. My parents are musicians. They played a lot of little shows around town. Beautiful, pine trees, a river to swim in, and just a lot of music around. Yeah, and just feeling like that was normal in people's lives, going to potlucks and all the adults are passing instruments around and singing together.
Right. You've said, I mean, your parents played bluegrass, folk, rock, a Grateful Dead cover band that your dad was in.
Dad's in a Grateful Dead cover band, yep.
But you didn't play with them growing up at those potlucks. So
I didn't.
What seeped into you, even if you weren't playing along?
Well, it was just around so much. And I always did love singing and, sang in the school choir. But it wasn't until everything kind of fell apart that I found my voice and started writing songs. Shortly after I graduated high school, my parents divorced, they sold our family home, and I really had no place to go back to. I had all my stuff in my college dorm, and that's when I started writing. And I was, my dad could play guitar and showed me a couple of chords, but beyond that, I just started teaching myself to play guitar, and it was just a couple notes and a couple chords to begin with. But that was all I needed to write my first songs.
And at that point, writing songs, it was a way to make sense of what was happening, of those losses?
It was, yeah. And so for me, the original reason I started writing was to kind of process that grief and the loss of everything I had known and that stability of my childhood.
When you were doing that, was there a part of you that thought, I want to perform these, or you hadn't even arrived there yet?
I wasn't there yet. I started writing the songs in my bedroom in San Francisco. I was there for college for a couple of years. And I remember the first time I performed for just a handful of friends, and those friends being like, whoa, you should do this. And I think within that year, I just sort of started playing tiny little shows like around Nevada City. I opened for Joanna Newsom, who's also from Nevada City, in San Francisco because we were both living there at the time. And that was in 2003. So it was very exciting. And
I'm wondering, so what was it like to hear your friends say, whoa, you should do this?
I think it was surprising and exciting. And it was the thing I loved doing the most. I mean, it really took me by surprise that I did start, doing this professionally. My very first record, the one that was released, The Pirate's Gospel, I had recorded with my dad in his music studio during the summer of 2004. We had no idea anyone would hear that record. And it's not a widely known record in the USA. But overseas, it got a lot of traction, and it went gold in France. And that was completely astonishing from this project that my dad and I just made together, thinking that no one would hear it.
Can we hear another song?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is Dusty Roses from the new album.
Okay, Dusty Roses. Let me just make sure this is in tune real quick. Sorry about that. Technicalities.
Oh, we like in-tune guitars.
We do,
I should say, wow, she is making sure the guitar is in tune. There's a European tour for the record release, but Alela Diane is going to be back in the Northwest next month. You can see her at Trout Lake Hall in Washington on June 12th and at Mississippi Studios in Portland on June 13th.
Awesome. Okay. This next song is called Dusty Roses. And it's about a friend of mine from my hometown. Sometimes things don't go as well when you're from a small town. Grew up in the valley, rode horses at dawn. Came home every morning to the TV on. Big blue eyes, long straight hair, some dark secret held like a key. Dusty roses strung up on the wall. Dusty roses, where is our girl gone? Black pants and a crisp white shirt, table for two. Party at 10, it's 1 a.m. She gets off work, goes downtown, whiskey drowned, finds some stranger to hold like a key. Dusty roses strung up on the wall. Dusty roses, where is our girl gone? She moved back home, a child in tow, just 3 years old. Night after broken night, she stumbled down that gravel road. Blackbird flies, ocean eyes, ravaged body, buried like a key. Dusty roses strung out on the wall. Dusty roses, where is our girl gone?
That's Dusty Roses from Alela Diane's new or forthcoming album, Who's Keeping Time? We heard Alela on vocals and guitar. We also have Peter Lalish on guitar, Sebastian Owens on bass, and Danny Austin Manning on drums. I mentioned at the beginning that you recorded the new album in your attic.
I did.
Can you describe your attic?
Yeah, so I live in this crazy old house in Southeast Portland. It's a big Victorian. It's one of a kind. It's the weirdest house in Eastmoreland. Has a tower, and was a little crumbly when we got it 5 years ago. But it's an incredible house, and the history is so alive in there. It's a wonderful, magical place to live. Yeah.
Could you feel that history when you were recording?
I would say so. I mean, I feel it every day of my life when I just exist living in that house. It's like a lost in time house.
Huh. I've read that the town where you grew up, a gold mining town, it's talked about as a Victorian town.
This is why I ended up in the crazy Victorian.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw this is a piece of my old home here?
Yeah. I didn't grow up in a Victorian, but the road that led to where I lived, every day I would drive down this street called Nevada Street that is lined with the most incredible Victorian houses. And my childhood dollhouse was a Victorian, and it's always just been this thing for me. So I, landed there in Portland. We found a very unique place to live.
You've said that one of the big catalysts for this album was the death about a year ago of a good friend of yours, a famous musician named Michael Hurley, the kind of musician that's a foundational artist for plenty of people, but also unknown to plenty of people.
For sure.
A sort of funny combination. Yeah. Can you tell us about him?
Yeah, so I met Michael when I moved to the Northwest. I moved here in 2005, and I think he and I crossed paths probably in 2006 or 2007. And I met him through a drummer I was working with at the time named Otto Hauser, and he drove me out to Michael's house. And so I met Michael outside of Astoria in his little kind of mossy mossy house out there, and we had some tea, and we ended up doing shows together locally and also as far away as Scotland. We did a couple of shows in Scotland together, probably in 2008 or so.
He was in his 20s. Sorry, you were in your 20s. He was in his 60s?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
What was the connection, the musical connection between the two of you?
Well, I was always really fascinated by the very old music. And here was Michael Hurley, who was essentially a local legend. His very first recordings were out on Smithsonian Folkways. And I was familiar with those recordings. And I think I had first heard of him because Cat Power covered a handful of his songs on her, I think it was on her covers record. And so that was when I had first heard his songs. And then, of course, I went and discovered the original recordings of the songs. And Michael and I, continued to know each other. And the last show we did together was February of 2020, right before everything went south on us.
Let's listen to just a little bit of one of his songs.
Wonderful.
It's called Wild Geeses. What did you learn from Michael Hurley?
I learned that you can do this music thing any way that you want to do it. I had a lot of admiration for the way that he always did music on his own terms. I mean, he was selling burnt copies of his CDs that had been released on record labels because he was like, why would I pay them? Why would I pay them for my own record? I can just make copies of it and sell it to my fans. The business stuff didn't make sense to him, and he was a total outsider and continued, to play very humble shows. And I just love that you can do it any way you want to do it,
Do you mind if we play a little bit of the track from your new album that you wrote in honor of him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is called Spring is a Fine Time.
Hi, Alela. Well, that was a great song. I was trying to explain to you about the Wild West.
Tell me, where did you go when you left this earth? Did you fly to the moon, drink some tea with the crows? Spring is a fine time to die. Daffodils bloom, smiling yellow and bright. Sun has returned, shining warm on closed eyes. Spring is a fine time to die. Oh, the rain comes and goes and the birds sing again. I bid you adieu, say farewell, my old friend. Spring is a fine time to die. Spring is a fine time to die. Fly on with the black crows cawing, honking.
Your last two albums were more or less solo affairs, but you reached out to fellow musicians a lot more for this one. Why?
Did. It gets really lonesome when you do it alone all the time, and I think circumstantially, I have two daughters, 12 and 9 years old, and my career really went through a big transition when I had the girls, and it was much more difficult to tour. I continued touring, but mostly in Europe, because that's where my career is more successful. it was just too hard to make it a big affair and to bring a bunch of people into the project. I toured solo, I toured as a duo sometimes, occasionally a trio. But beyond that, the bigger band thing hadn't felt like the move for me for a while. But when I went to Hurley's memorial, I was reminded of all of the wonderful musicians in the Portland music community. And I started going to shows again for the first time in, over a decade, because I was too tired to go out ever. And what I found is all these incredible musicians out there making incredible music, and it was inspiring. And that's how I met the guys that are playing with me today. And I wanted to play music with people again. And I think I had more bandwidth available than I've had in a long time. And I wanted to come back at it with some freshness and some energy. And I'm honored to be working with some great musicians. And we recorded the album in the attic, live.
In 5 days.
In 5 days. Yeah.
Well, let's hear another live song if you all don't mind. Again, let me just remind folks again, we're hearing Alela Diane on guitar and vocals, along with Danny Austin Manning on drums, Sebastian Owens on bass, Peter Lalish on guitar. What do you have for us?
This one is called Galloping.
Chewing on time, chipped my tooth, decades worth of bad news. Wind so cold, chapped our skin. Lay me down, soft circle dreams. Galloping, soft circle dreams. Galloping. Words in bed, up all night. Bones clank together like a puppet fight. Twitching cat, bloody moon, lay me down, soft circle dreams. Galloping, soft circle dreams. Galloping. Mouth breathing, forgot to eat. In these walls, my body keeps. Blue light shine, clementine, lay me down, soft circle dreams. Galloping, soft circle dreams. Galloping. Dying flowers, emerald vase. Men in power, we can't escape. Wild geese, frozen ground. Lay me down, lay me down. Darkness falls, I hear it now. Or is it just a dog barking at its shadow? Table lamp flickers off and on. Lay me down, soft circle dreams. Galloping, soft circle dreams. Galloping. Landline rings, a soothing sound takes me back to that small town. I love you, honey, you love me. Lay me down, soft circle dreams. Galloping, soft circle dreams. Galloping, 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 galloping. Galloping, galloping,
That's the song Galloping on Alela Diane's new album, Who's Keeping Time. Those bursts of images are so evocative. Chewing on time chipped my tooth, decades worth of bad news, wind so cold, chapped our skin, bones clanked together like a puppet fight. I love that. 20 years in, what are the mysteries about where songs come from?
Wow, that is one of the greatest mysteries, because you have nothing, and then all of a sudden this thing that didn't exist kind of comes from the ether and you pull it down like a thread.
That's what it feels like?
That's what it feels like.
It's there.
It's there.
And it comes to you as opposed to you workman-like making this and cranking it out.
You have to open the channel for sure. And sometimes it doesn't come as easily, or maybe something came through and then the chorus isn't quite right and you fuss with it and you wait for it and you keep writing it different ways and it's terrible and then you keep working on it. But usually if you're patient, it does land eventually.
Alela, thanks so much for coming in. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Alela Diane is a Portland-based singer-songwriter. Her 7th album, her new album, comes out in about a week and a half. It's called Who's Keeping Time. Again, you can see her and the band when they come back to the States after a European tour. They'll be at Trout Lake Hall in Washington on June 12th and at Mississippi Studios in Portland on June 13th. Monday on the show, voters in Lane County will soon decide if rivers, creeks, and other bodies of water should have legal rights, ones that could be enforced to protect against pollution. We'll hear arguments for and against the ballot measure known as the Watersheds Bill of Rights. Thanks so much for tuning in to Think Out Loud on OPB and KLCC this week. I'm Dave Miller. We'll be back on Monday.
Think Out Loud is supported by Steve and Jan Oliva, the Rose E. Tucker Charitable Trust, Michael, Kristen, Andrew Kern, and Anna Sanford, and the Jackson Foundation.